You know, it's so much ego going on in the spiritual community. And it's sad again to see so many sisters beefing with one another, you know, and it's dry hating really that goes on. You know, we all have our own authenticity and we all have our own gifts. But, you know, some of us are going to have some of the same similarities as well. You know, and me being a very authentic person my whole life, I know my shit when I see it. I know when I inspire someone when I see it. You understand? And sometimes, depending on the situation, I will call you out. But I'll never dry hate. And it's like so sad because we're supposed to be healed. We're supposed to be better than that. We're really supposed to come together, you know, and I don't think it's honestly ever going to happen like it's supposed to happen because, you know, I don't know. It's just the ego again that gets to us. You know, it's for me, I'm not easily inspired by a lot of people. You know, a lot of times there's like an internal compass that I have inside that knows when I'm slacking or when I need to get on my shit or when I need to reinvent. But there are a few sisters on here that I see their content and I actually like it. But for me to actually want to just reach out, it's very rare. And I've reached out maybe to one or two sisters in the year. And, you know, it's hard to try to be real and make friends with sisters sometimes because a lot of us really aren't healed. And me personally, I know I have things that I deal with. I know I have, you know, a temper problem. I know I have certain things that, you know, I constantly have to work on. But this image of being perfect, you understand, and it's just everything that we put online is just egotistical. And me personally, I'm going to toot my own horn. See, me personally, I come from an era that we had to learn how to teach in order to, you know, pull others to the knowledge, you understand? And a lot of you all don't teach. A lot of us are trendy on here. A lot of us only post, you know, glamour magic. We talk about men. We talk about doing things to other people with magic. You know, we show our rituals. And I always tell people, what do you actually know? What are you teaching, you know, on these platforms? And again, like I said, a lot of you sisters are dope in your own way, you know, but the beef has got to stop. And that's a lot of times why I really don't try to hang out or try to go to a lot of these sister gatherings. And see, I'm a warrior, you know, and I love men, you know. As much as I've been through with men, I love men. I love that balance. And I'm an androgynous person as well. I was raised by men. A lot of the knowledge that I know has come from men. Again, a lot of men have taught me things that they probably should not have taught me, but that was just the power that I hold as a woman where they feel, you know, comfortable in telling me that. But, you know, my blood type requires beef. You know, being a warrior requires confrontation. But the older I get, I just sit back and I watch a lot of things and I learn to pick my battles because a lot of times it's just not worth my time, and it should not be worth you all's time to beef with one another or to even respond to a motherfucker that does not how to don't know how to move on with their lives and continue to do them. And it's sad, man. It's just really sad to see. To my sisters, we have work to do. You know, we make the world go round. You know, if it wasn't for us and being the portal, you know, for life to come through to this, you know, physical plane, it wouldn't be anything without us. And we have to learn, you know, how to move on. We have to learn how to stop giving energy to people who just want to go on and on and on and drag you into their shit. You understand? And just continue to be you. You know, just continue to do what you do. And that's just the bottom goddamn line. You know, like I said, it's a sad thing to see on here, you all. You know, this social media has also made it to where, you know, people are trying to seem bigger than what they really are. You understand? And, you know, that was just my word today.